But I think maybe as a good starting block, maybe I'll just get each of the panel guests to introduce themselves, their name, their Krump name, and just a little bit, maybe your name, your Krump name, and a random fact that you would like to share with everyone here.
What's up, everyone? Name's Alex Terezo, Alexander Terezo. Like I just said.
Random fact about it.
Sorry. Krump name's AK5. Been here 3 seasons, but that's the main one I'm going on 5. Random fact that most clubbers would know is that I enjoy listening to Linkin Park.
Sheesh, Linkin Park, okay. I would have never known that, because you don't tell me these things, but that's okay. Okay, cool. Our next panel guest, bro. Introduce yourself, your name, your Krump name, and then any random fact about yourself, like.
Hello, my name is Junior Sasuma. My Krump name is Erupt, Samoan descent. And random fact about myself. Random fact about myself. I like to play basketball. Yeah.
Nice. So everybody, my name is 12, aka Badass Street Beast. Yeah, from Wellington, Cap City. Started Krump in 08. So yeah, I think I'm on my 17th year. Crazy. So he's on his 24th year. That's funny. -5. But yeah, random fact. Damn, random fact. My first international battle was 2010, and I got smoked.
Crazy. Who did you get smoked by?
Nah, I don't want to say the name.
Oh,
It was shut down. Bang out 3.
Oh, true. Was that 20? What year?
2010.
2010.
Bang out 3. We have bang out 3. Sydney,
Australia.
Nah, it wasn't on stage, but it was the year Dario and then jumped, Scrap jumped Dario, and they all battled Dario at the event. I don't know. Yeah.
Pirates.
Crazy. Well, team, again, so this is our amazing panel. Again, I think to reiterate the reason why we wanted to do something like this, which is very, very different to our ordinary spaces, right? I feel like it's super important for people like them to share their experiences within Krump, whether it be as a leader, whether it be as an individual, whether it be as a dancer. I feel like there's so many perspectives that in terms of different spaces, it's very rare to allow an opportunity like this where dancers actually just get to talk. And we as the audience get to listen. So I have a whole bunch of questions that I want to ask them. And so, yeah, that's just to kind of bring light to why we're doing something like this. And I think our goal is to run more panel discussions like this. One, because our community deserve it. Because, you know, why not host a platform where a lot of our vets, our OGs, some heavy hitters, some people within the community, why not hold a space where they can share, they can talk, and then for us as an audience, as a community, we can ask questions like, you know, how did you feel about this? What makes you think about this? And yeah, to be honest, I'm just here for a good vibe. I hope everyone else is here for a good vibe. So even before that, turn to the person next to you and say, for the vibes. All right, cool. So we're here just to basically it's a super chill conversation. But I think the main thing for everyone here is that I hope you walk away with something that you want to walk away with. So right now I'm going to ask everyone in the audience to think about a question that you would like to ask our panel. And during that time when you guys are asking or trying to think of questions to ask, I will ask some questions in the meantime. Okay, cool. So we'll open up the floor to some questions. But for now, team, to our panel, maybe share what's been the hardest thing about your Krump journey so far.
Most hardest, for myself personally, it's just been, there's two things that come to mind. They kind of integrate with each other, would be being a dad, that's hard as well, but also going through a separation as too, so a lot of personal stuff. And that kind of aspect, this one?
Yeah.
And that kind of aspect, mentally drains you. You know, you gotta spend time trying to find time to work on your craft, but also be there for your kids. So it's a lot of balancing. But last year I went through a tough kind of event where I had to reset fully in terms of craft and also my life. So those are the two most hardest things that I can think of. Yeah.
I think for me would be time, because obviously back then, as a young'un, I had all the time in the world, so Krump was always there. Yeah, and as I was speaking from now, but yeah, the hardest thing for now is just time, making time. I guess, you know, priorities and family and stuff like that. But we do what we love to do, so you know, can always try and make time to come here. Thank you.
Mate, yeah, for me, what's the hardest thing in Krump? The hardest thing in Krump for me would...
Well, the hardest thing in your Krump journey.
In my Krump journey, the hardest thing in my Krump journey. To be honest, the hardest thing was staying in my lane. Yeah, staying in my lane. Lane makers?
Hey now, lane makers, we're calling you that.
Hey, but yeah, staying in my lane in terms of like, staying true to my passion, or really like staying grounded in the direction I wanted to go with Krump and staying connected to it, and not being influenced by, I guess, what do you call it, expectations, whether it be from like family or friends or like just the world in general, all the trends that happen while you're at school and trying to, like, I don't know, live up to like the popularity contests and stuff like that, but still staying true to like something that I enjoyed and that I loved doing, that kept me happy. But it had its difficult times, because there were times where, like, yeah, I would be dancing by myself for like months because no one else would like see it as much of a priority as I would. So having that like constant back and forth with myself about like, is this really worth it? Do I want to keep doing this? Like, I can't see anybody else doing it with me type vibe. And the only time I kind of felt like I would get something in return is when I was traveling or like going overseas, or I had like an event to work towards. So yeah, I think that was probably the hardest battle for me, or one of the hardest battles for me in my Krump journey, was just, yeah, making a constant decision to keep going down the path of Krump and staying connected to it, or choosing it as a career path, or like as a hobby really that turned into a career path. So yeah, that was probably the hardest part. Yeah.
Nice. I think just to go off, sorry, before I ask you another question, for everyone who's in attendance, if you have a question that you would like to ask the panel, okay, cool. If you have a question, just DM me on Instagram, okay, cool, because I know if you're not comfortable in like asking it straight off the bat, you can just DM me on Instagram and then I can share it. I can keep it anonymous, that's all good. That way, you know, we can kind of keep the flow going in terms of questions, in terms of what you want answered. I really want this space to be for you guys, Cool. So whatever questions you want to ask, whether it be funny questions, whether it be like hearty questions, whether it be like who's your favorite little homie.
We are full of bond.
All right, cool. So it can be anything on that spectrum in terms of who they are as big homies, as crumpers. But maybe to kind of ask another question for the panel. So 12 mentioned, the moments where he felt alone and the times where things just felt very like lonely. How did you guys, if you ever felt that way within your own Krump journey, when were those moments, if you're comfortable in sharing, and how did you kind of get past that whole obstacle?
I think with me being under someone in Wellington for a very long time, it's been like, 12 years now. I had to struggle with that in terms of just labbing alone, which is like, 2010. It's still going now.
How did you overcome that whole obstacle?
I think in my head it was more so because back then we didn't have frequent sessions up here in Auckland, and in my head if I was like, sweet, if I'm doing the work as I do sport, I play a lot of tag and touch. The way you train is the way you play. So I took that mentality into Krump. If I'm doing this by myself and I'm gonna keep grinding away doing this by myself, I'm gonna perform a lot better later with people around. And in return, it happened, like in events across New Zealand, meeting up with the fam, but also just knowing that the full fact that you're doing this by yourself, and in the long run, there could be a fam waiting. Fast forward 2 years later, I created High Pressure Empire. So it was a grind in the sense of I can be as patient as I can with my craft, but if you're doing it by yourself, just keep pushing through, because that's all I did. I just persevered right through it, and then didn't kind of reap the rewards till later by creating High Pressure and also traveling down to Wally a lot. So yeah.
What's the question again?
It was,
Sorry.
So 12 brought up a good point around loneliness and having to kind of deal with certain times within his career where he felt very much like kind of on his own. Did you ever feel like that in your career? And if so, can you recall the time, what you had to do to overcome that?
I think the best lab is when you're by yourself. And I think for me, just having a competitive mindset and just like out to prove something to yourself. That's kind of like how I overcome my battles and the lab that I practiced. That's the word. A lot of lonely nights I've had. I've labbed in the driveway by myself in the dark. But man, it's all worthwhile. And just also you just go to events and go to sessions and you just put it all out on the table, and comes back tenfold. Yeah, man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of similar to E in the sense of like the staying competitive, having the competitive mindset. Something I'll also add to that kind of helped me with that period of time, or when those periods of times would like reoccur, is just staying true to like the goal that I set myself, or reminding myself of the dream that I had dreamt up. That I wanted to do in life, and one of my other passions was traveling. So, being able to use Krump as a tool to travel, or like I kind of just used it as an excuse to choose a location to travel to. So I just chose, like, whenever a World Krump event would come up, such as like EBS, I was like, cool, there's my excuse to go to Europe. So that there was my that there was my motivation. Was like, okay, I can go to Europe, but now I can go to Europe for Krump. So it added that extra motivation on top of that. And then I stayed for like a couple weeks after EBS to do the whole travel stuff. But yeah, I had like moments, like there was a period of time in Cap City, Wellington, where the scene had like really taken a hit and not many people were coming to the sessions. Sometimes it would just be me and like maybe one or two others that would rock up, but they would rock up like an hour after I got there when we were meant to be there. But the rest of the scene, they were like, it was that when the internet cafes were popular, when like internet was around, dial-up was a thing, but not everybody could afford internet in the house, so there would be internet cafes where people would pay like $2 or something for an hour of use on the internet. So that was a phase where like we were all in high school, but a bunch of like the Krumpers ended up finding what's the game? LOL? League of Legends?
Oh, League of Legends.
Right. I hate that game. I'm like beef with that game, man.
League of Legends?
Bro, that killed Cap City Krump for a good 2 years, man.
No way.
Yo, so a lot of Krumpers chose to just always be at the cafe instead of at the sessions. So we'd always have sessions, battles, and then it just died. And we're like, bro, where is everyone? Like, where is everyone? And it was...
Sorry, can you elaborate? What years were these?
Oh, man, this is a blur. Probably like, yeah, between like 09. Yeah, I started early 09, yeah. And then like all the way through to like, yeah, low-key 2011, 2012. Like, it wasn't like super dead, but it would be like this. Yeah. Because Krump was at a point where like, we got to a point where people were only getting active like a month or a month and a half before like nationals or before redemption or before like a Krump event would pop up. And then on the months off, they would be at the internet cafe. And I'm like, bro, someone shut down this internet cafe, bro.
Hey, shout out to the internet cafe, man.
Hell
That's
nah.
crazy.
No shout out there, but yeah. Yo, but I'm just saying, all you Wally Krumpers back then that went to the internet cafe, thanks, bro.
Shout out to y'all. No,
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
But yeah, to go off that, yeah, I had the motive. Going back to the question, sorry, I was I had to stay that competitive mindset and like the push and the passion that I had for Krump. So yeah, that's it for that one. Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. All good. Okay, cool. So again, team, for those who just walked in, I said to everybody, if you have a question that you would like to ask the panel, just DM me. I think that'll be the fastest way to kind of get through this. And as I'm saying that, we're getting some questions in right now. So the first question that I want to ask the panel, totally up to you on who wants to answer or whatever. When was the pinnacle moment in your Krump career where you knew you wanted to pursue this Krump life? Okay, so I'll repeat it again. When was that moment or the pinnacle moment in your Krump career where you knew you wanted to pursue this Krump life?
Me. Yeah, I guess I'll go first. Mine was 2016. 2016? 2016? Yeah, 2016 was when I decided to really like take Krump serious and choose it as a career path. The pinnacle moment was winning nationals for the first time. Yeah. So
wait, when was that?
My 2016, the 7 to KO.
The 7 to KO. That's crazy. Damn.
That's not long ago. So yeah, ever since before that, it was just a hobby. Like I just really enjoyed it. It's a place that I like to go and jam with the boys. Yeah, we used to just do road trips from Wellington up here and then or wherever there was an event, and that was, to me, the road trips was like it. That was like the thing to keep me coming back to Krump and just the unity with the boys. And yeah, just the road trips, man, the memories. And then yeah, once I won 2016, I was like, damn, okay, I guess I'm quite good. Might try to take it a step up and keep going. And then yeah, the following year was when I ended up taking out the qualifier to go to EBS. Yeah, so for me, 2016. Yeah.
Let's go. 2016.
Probably for me, it wasn't really a 4D, so I think the whole time I was just having fun, to be honest. Yeah, it wasn't, didn't really have a decision. I just, for me as a person, I hated like working and stuff like that, like as in, you know, jobs that I didn't like. And Krump was like the only thing that kept me sane. So yeah, it wasn't really, it was just, I guess, a part of me. So hopefully that answers your question.
For me, it was '06. So when I started Krump. I moved from Manhattan to MC, Martin College to.
Say that one more time. You moved from where?
Manhattan,
Let's go!
which is Ken and this guy's old school. I moved there just due to being mixed up with the wrong crap. But I found Krump doing auditions through Bring It On. One of the leaders that was there, Simi, he's part of Funky Monkeys, pinpointed something in terms of like, oh, how I'm doing Krump, and that was pretty much it. It wasn't like a career path, it was more so a passion, and it just carried on till now, so yeah.
Madness. Hell yeah, lads. Okay, cool. I got a question. So again, Tim, I'm getting questions sent to me, so I will try my very best to get through as many questions as you guys would like. Maybe just to the panel, if we can kind of keep the answers that we share really direct to the questions. Cool? Sweet? So that's just, no, this is good. I feel like, I'm just saying, you know, because I know there's a lot more questions that everyone wants to ask. So we're going to try our best on our side to kind of get through as many questions. And so if these guys just, you know, talk, then I'll just stay. Yeah, cool. All right, sweet. Another question. So as a panel full of males, what are the challenges you see for women and girl Krumpers? From your perspective, what are some of the challenges that you guys see as male dancers for our females? We'd love to hear your take on it. Now, just be careful. Nah, I'm joking. Okay, cool. Over to you guys, man. Let's go.
For me, I don't think there's much of challenges now. Back then, we did. There wasn't kind of a space for, like, obviously Knowles does a lot in terms of leverage, but there wasn't a space for, up in Auckland, for ladies to have, like, the whole, just the ladies session. I mean, there was zero sessions as well, but even before that, there wasn't like a platform for ladies just to come in to feel comfortable, because at the end of the day, this is male predominant dance. Because for me, speaking from experience in terms of having little homies as girls, or ladies for example, we had to make that common ground in terms of being equal, but also enabling that kind of space so they can be vulnerable at the same time. Because sometimes a female's journey in terms of life can be a lot more different and way different from males. But for me, speaking from experience, as of right now, there isn't kind of any problem, because we're booming at a point where there's a lot of females in our scene, whereas before, there wasn't a platform for it.
Yeah, I guess, what are the challenges, or are there challenges?
What are the challenges that you guys, as males, see for women and girls in Krump?
Yeah, for me, I think it's just numbers. I think because it is such a male dominant style, when you rock up to a session, when you rock up to an event, it is typically like male dominant, like in numbers wise. So that can, I guess, be a challenge for some females, or most females, to kind of step out of their comfort zone and like battle in divisions that, or in events that don't have like male female divisions but just one. Could be a challenge, but I don't feel like females are at a disadvantage in terms of skill, and in terms of like their ability to win. I don't feel like they're at a disadvantage. I think it just comes down to pretty much the time you put into your craft, and everybody has their their challenges in terms of how they go about their style, how they go about their creation, and how they go about, I guess, their tactics or strategies that can best like help them in their movement, whether it's their movement to, or the way they train their bodies to move the way they want it to move. Yeah, it's just about how you train, I guess. So for me, the only challenge I see is, or the biggest challenge I kind of see is just numbers. I feel like the female scene kind of is very, a lot smaller in numbers in terms of the male scene, which I feel like naturally plays a part in terms of like females wanting to step out and like really showcase that they can step up in that sense. But yeah, for the ladies, if you do need some reference to like, in terms of like when I'm talking about yous aren't at a disadvantage when it comes to the competitive level against the boys or the males, a dancer you want to see right now is Knives from Canada. She has been battling like top dudes in the States and stuff, and like she been dogging them bad. And it's exhibition battles, like it's not time battles. So if you need any point of reference or like proof, she is definitely up there. Her, Queen Buckhype, Daisy, One Shot, those are just some names of female dancers that I kind of pull off in terms of saying that you guys aren't at a disadvantage. But yeah, the only challenge I see is numbers.
Solid team, solid. So just for the guys who walked in, so if you have a question that you would like ask, just send me a Instagram DM, and then we can put that in the pool of questions that I have already. Funny side note, we have a crack up comment from someone, I won't say who, but means road trips when we break down on Desert Road 8 train. Memories like that, that's crazy. So that's from the live that we're having on right
That's
now.
Matt.
That's crazy. Anyways, okay, cool. So the next question that we have is, as new gen in Krump, what is something that the new gen can do to support the community and keep their big homies proud?
Sorry, can you say it one more time?
So as the new gen in Krump, what is something that they can do to support the community as new gen and keep their big homies proud?
As the new gen coming in, I think something that is lacking, or just looking for spaces that are no longer around, that need to be either brought back or facilitated. Like right now, there's no regular sessions going on around Auckland. There's no regular sessions going on around New Zealand. So there are pop-up sessions, but back when like we were coming up, or like when we were, I guess, forefront leading, not only like being around the events, but in the streets, we had weekly sessions or monthly sessions, like one a month. And then when it got like busy, we turned it up and we did every week. So just being that person to really step out and facilitate a space, whether you just have a speaker, have a session, and just be open to nobody turning up for the first 3 or 4, and then slowly other people will come through. And that's just for like one person to step out and start that, but then the rest of you new gen, can help by showing that person support, and like you guys sessioning, and not relying on your big homies to be there, or the top hitters and stuff to always be at the sessions, but just doing it purely because you want to do it and facilitate that space. But that's, yeah, something for me. And entering all the events and just pushing. Yeah, just pushing yourself. Not going in for the win, but just to push yourself and see where you're at. And rep your squad, bro. Yeah.
I pretty much did everything you said. For the new gens, I reckon just get in there, be free, man. Dance with your heart. Yeah, man, like what y'all said, into the events, do as many workshops as you can, learn your history. Yeah, just being a sponge and gather as much information as you can. Yeah.
I think, yeah, 12 said it, but the main thing I go off, especially being a big homie, is communicate. Biggest one is communicate. If you're obviously not going to turn up to a lab or session, communicate with the big homie, because they've said a lot of aspects in terms of supporting. I'm just going from a big homie kind of sense, is that communication is key, because sometimes when, speaking from experience, I communicate something out to the fab, say we've got a session here or lab, no one turns up. That frustrates me, because I'm like, sweet, I give up my time 2 hours previously or even now when I have kids to be here, and yet no one's communicating. And that's an Empire rule with what I do, Empire as well. They can't make it. There's many forms of communication in terms of social media, your phone, to say, hey, I can't make it. I don't bother with the reason. You can't make it, you can't make it. That means your energy's like it. But yeah.
Great answers, team. Okay, we're getting more questions. Okay, cool, which is amazing, and I love it. And so what we're going to ask from the panel is that we keep the answers that we give really concise. Cool, and that way we can speed through all of these questions, because I think not only are we answering the questions that are here with the people in the space, but there's also some people on the live that are like flicking me questions. Okay, cool. So real quickly, this is a quick question. What's your worst battle? What's your worst battle? Okay, cool, real quick.
I battled Detective of 1 at Cap City. Dude could have ruined my career, and that was the first time he came, which was like,
Detective 1, by the way, is?
ruined. The first time he came.
Yeah.
20.
Nice. You can check.
Worst battle in terms of
Whatever, bro. What's your worst battle?
Worst battle for top. Probably Silver from Brisbane.
Say that one more time.
Silver from Brisbane.
Silver. Crazy.
Shout out to Silver.
Sheesh.
Yo, mine was against Omen. Yeah, it was just a cringe battle, eh? It was like a lab exercise that we were doing, and we're just like trying to make sense with our Krump. This is how, like, bro, we had to like figure our labs out by creating it ourselves, because there was no blueprint. So yeah, Aiden came up with this thing.
You've got a minute.
Okay, we had to talk while we Krump. So everything we did and we were directing, we had to say it vocally while we danced. It was so awkward. But yeah, and I'm like, yeah, you are down here and up. Yeah, it was just awkward.
And that was a battle?
Bro, he replied the same. He's like, yeah, nah, what you said was whack, and like this here, I'm way better. You ain't up here. I'm like, we shut up. But yeah, worst battle, man, cringe ass. But it was lab, so all good.
Nice. Okay, cool. Where do you see New Zealand Krump in the next 5 to 10 years? That was one of the questions.
On top of the world.
On top of the world.
Number one.
Let's go.
Yep.
Cool.
On top of the world.
Oh.
Just like the All Blacks. If they lost. That's what it was.
Yeah, same.
Okay, this is a question for Erupt, yeah? What was the transition like going from Oz Krump to NZ Krump?
I wonder who that is. I'm sorry, I just had to think about this. I think dance-wise, when I came here, it was very technical. Like everyone had crazy, like just the way they danced. They had like the material over here was crazy, way crazy. Whether over there was like just straight get-offs and straight, yeah, dance-wise. But as unity and family, it's pretty much similar. feel like the unity here is real good, and over here is very new. So like a lot of new crumpers that are coming up, a lot of new faces. But I've only been here for like 7 years now, 7 8 years. So from the time I've been here, there's been just new crumpers, so, which is a good sign. Good sign. Yeah.
Solid. Okay, cool. Next question is, what's one thing you would bring back now from back in the day? What's one thing you would bring back now from back in the day? Feels like a bar. What's one thing?
Honestly, Traxless music. That's
Traxless?
even though it's already here, but like a lot of the stuff that we had back then in terms of music, we took it from LimeWire or even YouTube, and it was just the one track that everyone listened to. So mine was just tracks.
Spray painted T-shirts
Sheesh!
and do-rags and Timberlands.
For me, I would bring back street battle events. Yeah, street battle events, or just street battles. I would bring back. Yeah.
Madness, madness. Okay, cool. This is one of our questions for everyone in the panel. What's been one of your biggest bothers when it comes to the NZ Krump movement, and how have you as leaders been able to go about it or somewhat overturn it? Okay, cool. So I'm going to repeat that question again. What's been one of your biggest bothers when it comes to the NZ Krump movement, and how have you as leaders been able to go about it or somewhat overturn it?
For me, off top, there was a time where nobody, even it still happens now, but nobody calls people out. The call out culture's kind of dying out. I don't know if people aren't confident to call each other out, or the competitiveness just isn't there. But one thing I kind of did to overrule that, or like overcome that, when I was running the sessions in Cap City, was I just used to make battle lineups and post it. I used to make the flyer, post it, and be like, yo, this battle line's sick, it's going down on Sunday. And then, yeah, the new gen or the little homies and stuff would just be like, oh damn, I'm battling, all right. And then those nights would end up being the craziest sessions. Like, we had like 10 battles a night every week, and all battles popped up. And yeah, that's one way I just did it. Sometimes people just need the push, man.
You sure? You said all the time. I think for me, so I said it earlier, it's just
What's been one of the bothers in the New Zealand Krump movement that you've seen?
biggest bother, he said before, but just sessions, but not relying on the leaders to kind of pop up and do it. You know, so I've said it before, all you need is a speaker, and that's what we got brought up on too. Will be either myself, Saber, Sab, God bless his soul, turn up a mannequin, we'll just session, post up on the page, that's it. Yeah, that's the whole thing as a whole.
Yeah, sweet. Next question that we have from one of the people in the lives. What's a battle you've always wanted to see but hasn't happened yet in the NZ community? Let me repeat the question. What's a battle you've always wanted to see but hasn't happened yet in the NZ community?
Alien and Black Magic.
Ooh! Ooh, Alien and Black Magic. If you guys don't know who Black Magic is, Stylebender, the new AKA Alien, Stylebender, that would be crazy. What's one battle that you would want to see that hasn't happened yet in NZ Krump?
Probably Big Raw versus Yak. Does that happen?
I don't know.
Oh.
Has it happened? Big Raw versus Big Yak. That would be insane. If you guys don't know who these people are, a lot of these guys are OGs that have been around since before the YouTube era. Cool. Some of these guys, actually Raw, he's the one that kind of blew up NZ Krump because of a video that he did, and then everyone was comparing him to Solo. So he's an amazing dancer from, is he in Cap City at the moment? Cool. Cap City. So yeah, that's cool. Big Raw, big yak. Crazy.
Mine will be Erupt versus Alien.
Wait, has that not happened? That's happened? Is it on footage?
Yes, but on tape.
Damn.
When he was first in.
Mine will be that.
Crazy, 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 crazy. Okay, cool. We got a cool question. Can you break down the differences between these titles in the scene? Rookie, heavy hitter, veteran, and OG. Okay, cool. Can you break down the differences between these, these things within the scene? Totally from your perspective, though. Cool, sweet, solid.
I start with OG. OG is something that's original, or they started when Krump was around or founded. My OGs are Erupt and Alien, because Alien was doing a lot of Krump 1.0 stuff before we ever saw it. But a lot of the terms, in terms of those terms, those titles, it's just time. When you're a rookie, I think it's like 3 years or so, give or take, and then it progresses on to the 10 to chill time. Timing meaning you're just labbing that dazzling time, putting effort into the craft, more like being around in sessions all the time, taking titles in terms of like there's a rookie event that we used to have, a treason, certain titles, New Zealand titles that you have, but also just becoming from a person that's starting to a community leader, and that's speaking from experience. Like I'm a vet in the community. But yeah, just throughout your time, 3 years as rookie of my kind of defense, and then OG for me is something that I can't get to because I'm not original. So I always state that my OGs are A and E, and so I'm always going to be a vet. So then, yeah, that's how I see it.
I can't really break it down, but if you go to YouTube, tideeyes.com. But yeah, quickly, OG obviously is probably someone that's been around for the beginning of time. So, a veteran probably be like Charles Gotcha.
Hell of that. I'll speed through it. For me, OG is the first era. So for me, there are 5 OGs in Wellington: Raw, Angel, Ice, Monster, and Murder. Those are the 5 OGs of Wally Krump that I see as the first gen. If they need to add on, they can add on. And then you can go from like the first Krumpers the first generation Krumpers of New Zealand, Stylebender, like Black Magic, Alien, Shakes, I believe, is first gen from Auckland. So that's OGs, like first gen for me. Then there's the whole like second gen, third gen OG type vibe, but I'm not going into that. Heavy hitter is just someone who's at the top of the ladder, top 5, top 10, or who's seen as like the guy to beat at the sessions, or one of the top dudes to beat at the sessions. Rookie for me is someone who, for me, it's a skill level thing with rookies. I feel like if you still can't make it through consistently prelims or something, you might be at a rookie level. And you just gotta, if your knowledge isn't up there, you're still at a rookie level and you're just labbing on that. But for the how Aktive was saying, the first 3 years, for me, that's new gen. So new gen and rookies are different for me. And then what was the other one? Vet. Vet is someone who's been through the eras, man. That isn't an OG. Might have started like second, third generation or fourth generation, but has seen and stayed consistent, not taking a break. Those to me are vets. Yes, I'm a vet.
Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna ask. So actually, right here, right now, that's crazy.
Talk to me. You don't think I'm an OG? Sorry, there's 6 OGs in Wally.
That's crazy. That's crazy. So just to establish, what do you consider yourself?
OG or Picton? Nah. I'm a vet, man.
I'm just a human being. OG.
Vet.
Cool, solid. Okay, cool. This is a great question to go up the definition of a rookie. So, do you no longer become a rookie due to skill or due to time? Now, this is a very... The pinky? That's crazy! That is crazy, guys. Anyways, but yeah, this is a very good question, and I'd love to hear your perspective on it. Do you no longer become a rookie due to skill or due to time?
Skill.
Tell us a little bit more.
Because Trent said it, and I know for sure that you can consistently go to things and not get to pass, or go past things in terms of prelims. But if you know that for sure that you're leveling up, you're gonna get past and go to top 16. So I reckon it's skill.
I agree with that. Yeah, I reckon skill. In terms of leveling up and also proving yourself if you can be with the big dogs. Yeah, just yeah.
Yeah, for me, yeah, definitely skill level. I was seen as like a heavy hitter in New Zealand. Went over to EBS, got smoked. I was like, yeah, nah, I'm a rookie in the world. So yeah, I had to come back and do my work and then go back over and prove myself. So yeah, there's people that were dancing in like the harder Krumps, the collectors. If you know what those are like old school events in Auckland that stopped, and then when they came back recently, they entered events in the rookies division just to test themselves, just to question themselves. Like, okay, I don't feel like I'm up to date with where Crump's at now, even though I danced way back then. Some people even talk to me like, why are they doing the rookies division? They're from like back in the day. I was like, yeah, but they've taken a 10-year break, so they're coming back, and they know now they've kind of like, due to time, they've gone like this. So Crump's leveled up, they haven't, because they weren't crumping, so they had to start back at the rookie level and then work their way back up. So yeah, for me it's skill.
Yeah, nice. And I think I would like to add a little bit too to that. When it comes to rookies being exceptionally good in a very short amount of time, I know there's conversations around like, you know, certain categories or certain competitions. My point of view is, if you're so good, even as a rookie, why would you want to compete in a rookies division?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's another conversation too, because I know, speaking from my experience, my first year I had to do Krump Nationals, and that was against Jordan, JCB. Shout out to Drill.
One of the best low hanging battles to happen, bro.
Yeah, that was a mad time. But I think, yeah, just to reiterate, I think I agree with everything you guys said, and I think just to add on to that, if rookies can, you know, definitely break out of that category and do well against people that are considered heavy hitters or vets, I reckon why not go at them type of vibe.
I agree.
Competition.
Test it, man.
All right. A fun question. Everybody's favorite new gen. Real quick. You got favorite new gen in 5. Yeah, here in Aotearoa. In 5, 4, 3.
The guy over there with the haircut.
Yeah. Shout out, boy. Pow, pow.
Favorite new gen, off top, Flow.
Sheesh.
GB. Go first.
Go Virus. Let's go. Okay, another fun question. Mount Rushmore of New Zealand Krump. Mount Rushmore of New Zealand Krump. I believe Mount Rushmore has four. So name your top 4 in New Zealand Krump. I believe Mount Rushmore. Yes? No? Maybe history check on that.
Like now.
Of all time. Mount Rushmore's all time. Real quick. You got 5. You got 4. You got 3. You got 2.
CT.
You got 3 more.
CT. Alien. Big Roll. Yak.
Nice.
This is so hard. Yeah, I'm just gonna say. Oh, we not including us, say.
Hey, if it fits the memo, bro, that is correct. Up to you.
I feel like, yeah, my face will take up all 4 spots. But, okay, look, I'm stalling. Alien, Alien. Oh my days. Lightsaber 13, and Watchmen. Yeah.
Buzzy. Oh, that's
Yeah,
cool.
that's my-
nice, bro.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh wait, I just picked OGs.
That's all right. Oh, you're good.
Lightsaber and 12 and
Alright.
30. And
Alien, Sad, Yak, and Sable.
Nice team, appreciate y'all. So this one's for the panel. This one was for me as well. So I'll answer it first, and then you guys can go down the line. What's your vision for NZ Krump? What's your vision for NZ Krump? I think for me, my vision for New Zealand Krump is that we are just doing things for Krump in different areas, whether it be like in the events, whether it be killing it in like shows. I think for me, in the next 5 years, I would love to see more people host events, more crews dancing for commercials, more dancers discovering their own artistic approach with theater work. I just want to see more Krumpers do more Krump, if that makes sense, in different avenues, not just competitions. But I think another goal or another dream would be to see new world champions. I'd love to see that, and I'd love to be a part of that. I'd love to just be around to coach, whether it be in the next 5 years or 10 years or the next generation up. Like, I would just love to see more world champions. That would be sick. That'd be crazy. Anyways, that's me.
I think for me, the new gen having fans, because obviously coming up now, we've got our fans, and then the extension of that, seeing like the new gen having their fan, because it shows that our growth in Krump in terms of New Zealand is still going. Sometimes, every single time I say that I do Krump and I have conversations with people, they're like, "Oh, is Krump still around?" And that's kind of a thing where I'm like, "Yeah, it still is. It's just that you guys don't see it in a light that we always saw it as." So, just seeing the growth of it, and also seeing the new gen fans. So.
Nice, very good.
I think for me, seeing the female scene pop off, there's a lot of new females that have come through, which is good. And also, just like what Saber said as well, just elevating and doing new things. And yeah, I'm just here to like support and yeah, just being around and yeah, just helping the new gen and also the females just to explore, I guess, explore different avenues and taking Krump to new heights than what we did. So, that's crazy.
Yeah, definitely more world champs, more traveling, more presence at events around the world is definitely something I see or that I'd like to see from NZ. Yeah, and also just, the movement continuing to grow in good ways. The unity, I'd like to see us continue that with the amount of like support that we give each other. And then, just growth. I'd love to see our scene keep growing in good ways and putting your foot in as many new doors as possible. Just breaking barriers really and putting Krump in new spaces because it's still like, we still haven't hit everywhere. So seeing Krump hit everywhere and anywhere.
Nice. This is going to be 2 questions put together. So Trent, what happened to Street Champs, and will there be another heavy hitter street event?
Okay. So I was gonna continue with the Street Champ stuff this year, but after like discussions with some other people, I felt like, and I came into agreement with it, like that I was kind of holding on to the street side of Krump, which is where I kind of came from and like I thrived in. But now with the people that, when I run the Street Champ events, the people that enter aren't street, majority, just to put it straight, point blank. And it's not a bad thing, it's just the change in eras, it's the change in generations. And I kind of realized that like, when I was thinking about it, I was like, we were dancing in the street and we're having battles in the streets and everything, and it's only because we had nowhere to dance. We couldn't afford a studio. We couldn't afford a roof over our heads while we danced. We just had a speaker and we went and looked for a PowerPoint. And then now, and when we were dancing in the streets, we were wanting a studio. We were trying to get a roof over our heads when we were dancing, and now we have it. And then I'm thinking, why am I trying to take us back out to the streets? But there is a lesson in it in terms of like just understanding what it feels like to dance out there and where we came from. So there is that side to it. But I think, yeah, I just kind of took a pause and just to reflect on it. And I'm still questioning whether or not I feel like it is a positive space for our scene. Which I know there is some people within our scene that really thrive off that. But I feel like if we keep doing the street stuff and there's people that aren't street, it's easy to tell. It's easy to tell when you're not from the street and you're trying to dance street. And yeah, I feel like it kind of robs that culture or that side of the scene. That's just me personally. So I'm still thinking about it. I'm still revising or going over some certain things, but the Street Champs is always in the back of my mind, in the back of my head. I won't run one this year, but yeah, maybe next year, we'll see. But yeah, that's just where my head's at now with the street scene. Yeah.
Hard out. And that's, you know what, something to go off that too is that I remember when you ran the Street Champs, hardly anyone was there. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. So all the people that really want to be about the streets, they also have to turn up.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people, they put a lot of emphasis on you running stuff. Like, you know, you run the Street Champs, you run this for the street. But then there's also that double edge where it's like, okay, cool, now you turn up. And then when you do hold space, you haven't really had the turnout that is appreciative of the effort that you put out. So again, I feel like there's always that opportunity to bring the streets back. But I feel like you should only run it if people are actually going to be there.
Exactly. Yeah, I feel like that does play a big part in terms of running those events. Like I'm happy to run them if people want that, and if they ask for it, I'm down to run it. It's no stress on my plate. Like I'm keen. I'm always for the scene to do that. But then it's like, so I ran one of the Street Champs, and then I did instead of me organizing the battles for the first round, I said you guys can call each other out for the first bracket, and I said 3, 2, 1, and nobody called anyone out. I'm
Crazy.
Like, yo, we're in the streets. Like, you should be hungry to beat the best person in this group right now. Why is there not everyone pointing at one person who was the best one here? Or why is there nobody pointing at anybody? And then I had to really count down 3, 2, 1 again, 2 more times. And that was a big eye opener for me. So yeah, it's just like, if you guys want it, I'll do it, but you guys have to meet me halfway. In terms of if it's a 3, 2, 1, call someone out. Don't be afraid of what's going to come back at you, because that's what the street does. It really tests you, it exposes you, and it's the same thing as a session. You got to step up.
Yeah.
That's why it's very obvious and to tell when if you ain't street and you trying to dance street, we can see it. So yeah, if you want it, you got to be about it, to be honest.
Yeah, very cool, very cool. We just got a message. We just want to give a shout out to Jimmy, the man Street Kid, all the way from Brisbane. Shout out to him who was on the live. I think he's not asking a question, he's just on the live. So massive shout out to you, my guy. Okay, this is another great question. When does one qualify to be a big homie? Is there a particular standing or recognition one has to become a leader of a fan? That's a great question.
Very good question. I'll try to answer this real quick. I feel like there is no requirement. If you want to be, however, if you want to be a big homie and you want to start your name, start your name. If you want to take little homies, make sure you're ready to be a mentor, a leader, and lead by example. A very good example, by the way. So if you need to know the definition, or the original definition, I guess, of what a big homie is, go and watch Rise, and Rise says what a big homie is. I still go by that in terms of him, a big homie is the older brother or the father figure that the little homies didn't have, or the older brother figure that the little homies didn't have. So you're there to guide them, keep them in check, but also teach them the culture as well. So that's where I come from. And if you are new to the scene, but you have a name. We had all those people back in the day. We had people rock up with new names, and we're like, "Who are you?" And they're like, "This is me. This is my name." We're like, "All right," and we tested them. You just got to be ready to be tested and step up again. If you want it, you got to be about it. So if you want to have your name, be ready to be tested. But that's the best way to gain your respect, earning your stripes. So I'm all for it. If you want to have a name, create your name, build it, however you want. Be your individual self.
I'll probably have one thing to say. With fans, if you're under someone, don't go and like fam hop here.
Hey now. Hey now.
Because there's been a lot of those. You'll be like boy Flower and then your boy Rock over there. But yeah, don't fam hop, man. That's a no-no. Be true to your big homie, and you know, just be a loyal kid.
I think for me, it would be, I think 12 said it, but I'll just be on my part. I wasn't ready to be a big homie. It was more so I was ready to kind of share my knowledge of Krump. I picked up my first little homies in 2015. That's when I was ready. I was like, sweet. As you said, if you're ready to share that and have that weight above your shoulders, cool. You do it in a year. You can do it in months on end, but yeah, that's how I take it.
Sorry, one thing real quick. If you do create your own name, you don't have to take little homies. Just saying, if you want to create your name just for you, let that be you, unless people approach you. I got asked, why am I not a big homie for like 3 years? And I said, because I didn't want anyone. I was like, I don't want to teach anybody. I wasn't too confident in teaching at the time too, but I kept my name for like 3 years before I took a little homie. And my first person that was in my fam was Yak, who is one of the like OGs of NZ Krump. So I was all good with him because I knew I didn't have to teach him. He was just one of my best friends at the time. But yeah, so if you want to create your name but not take any, you're worried about, oh, okay, I have to teach people. No, you don't. Just it's your identity, it's your name. You do with it what you want. So don't let other people tell you otherwise.
Nice. And I'd like to add to that too. Because the question goes, when does one qualify to be a big homie? I think the moment you qualify is the moment that you're ready to stand on your own and to make decisions as a dancer on your own. And so I feel like that, it doesn't have to be a title, it doesn't have to be a particular moment within Krump, but when you're, ready to make your own decisions as a Krumper and you're willing